Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dakman Productions, and we're kicking off the 2025 year with Matt as the Raritan Valley Hi-Railers behind the scenes. And hello, Matt. How are we doing today?
Hello.
And so, for those who don't know, I have separated the behind the scenes of the Raritan Valley Hi-Railers playlists. It was so popular, Matt, that I actually had to separate the playlists. So now you guys have two different playlists on my channel. So you have one for uh, videos where I shoot during a show of your guys running, and you have your own behind the scenes
Look at
playlist thanks to the popularity of the viewers of Dakman Productions.
that. I'm glad people enjoy it.
And people are eating that up. They're loving it. I've even had other YouTube channels tell me that they watch these videos and look forward to them because they want to learn to do how to do some of this stuff. They enjoy this. So I got a couple questions before we kick off here. Believe it or not, I just realized this on the way up, but I've been shooting videos of the Raritan Valley Hi-Railers since 2015. So we're going on 10 years here. And there's been...
It's not longer than that.
well, for me, no.
All right, because I've been in the Raritan Valley Hi-Railers since 2011, and I can pretty much swear I've seen you at
maybe
shows.
I don't know, but maybe my timeline's off. But I know, but there's been what made me think about this is Dave from DA Griffin. He came over to your layout and he looks at it, he goes, "Is this the same layout as you always had?" And you can see that you've changed a lot of things over the years. It's never usually the same. There's been a lot of changes from those years of whenever 2011, 2015, whatever, to now.
Yep.
So yeah, you guys always are updating. You're always changing, and I think that's part of the attraction of the.
Well, that might also have a little to do with my OCD that I can't stop doing it. So, I mean, we actually have more modules now which is good because. So, if people enjoy that, the mount modules we have now, the layout changes every show, because it's like every show I'll be like, all right, let's use these this time. We haven't used these in a while, and we do keep adding ones. But even like this setup, I mean, this isn't all completely new. Some of this was existing, but we just made a couple of tweaks so that it. I've talked about it in the past is especially with Greenberg, they keep making us smaller.
Right.
And I completely understand, the shows made a turn. They're actually more, like when I first started doing the train shows, it used to be the Greenberg toy, and I think it was even Dollhouse show.
Yes.
So then they kind of got away from that, and then it was all trains. Well, now they're kind of going back to the toys.
Yes.
There's a lot more toys there, and I understand it's a business, model, and they need to make money.
Right.
But in turn, so there's more vendors there, more tables, less room for train layouts.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody can get as mad as they want, but the guy's got to make money. I understand. I'm in business for myself too. So, being that, like 2 years ago, we decided, okay, let's figure out a way to make all the scenes that we have smaller. So everything now, like this here, I mean, there's a lot going on here, but this is only 2.5 main lines. So this will fit nice on one side. The same thing with the turntable on the roundhouse and everything. The last show we did, same thing. That's two mainline modules. So that's been the goal. Occasionally they do let us debate. So like we're going to be doing York this year in October, and we're already confirmed for that. We already have our hotel rooms and everything.
So there you guys go. Come out to the TCA York.
And they basically have told us we can be as big as we want. They're like, so right now I think we're going to be either the same size or even a little bit bigger than we were at the convention.
Wow.
Just because they have the room, but I think that's the max modules we have.
Right.
Ones that are in good condition and work. So I think we were 28 by 60 or 30 by 60 for the convention.
You guys will be a big hit. I've done lots of show coverage there, and I can tell you, in the Purple Hall, there is a ton of room. Yeah, so you guys will have so much leadway.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we're at yet. I could swear you said maybe the Whitehall.
Whitehall. Why would he? All right.
I don't know.
I won't put
but I mean,
that.
there's it's a ways off. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are confirmed. He's like, yeah, no. He's like, we definitely want you guys there, and you can be as big as you want. So that's we're looking forward to that. The Great Scale Train Show. I don't know if you looked on the thing. We were actually on to be for this show. I don't know how that happened because he never notified us. But I talked to the John Greer. I don't know. He's in charge of the floor plan.
Oh, okay.
So I talked to him and I said, listen. I said first he sent me an email that said, we have 5 tables for you. So I called him. I'm like, I don't want to rent tables. We're a layout. And he's like, he goes, yeah, that's my mistake. But I shouldn't have sent that to you. And then all of a sudden we got a confirmation that we're for 28 by 28. So I called him back and I said, I told you this show. I said we did. I said, first of all, I said it's too small. I said it just the guys won't want to do it. I said we'd like it a little bit bigger. But I told you that we didn't want to do this show. Maybe we do the April show or something. But we are coming to the show, a couple of us, to go hang out with the guys there and see the show. All right, no problem. My apologies. But I looked the other day. We're still on there. That's Raritan Valley Hi-Railers. That's okay. But just we're not going to be in that show. So that's what has transpired is we keep changing things on the layout to really make them smaller and make them more and have more scenes so it's not all of our scenes used to stretch out over so now we just have multiple more things. The other thing I've been having fun with is the animation. I've been having fun like animating things, figuring out how to, and again, this is not you have to do it this way. This is the way I figured out to do it. I mean, you can do it any way you want, but it's fun. You as long as you have a bunch of little motors and a little bunch of everything, you can do all kinds of things on here. And that's what people like to see at the show. Would I do that on a home layout? Probably not. But here, it's like little kids come up and they're looking. You say, "Hey, check this out." And you flip the switch and something, and the kids just think that's cool.
Yeah. Well,
does it serve a purpose? No. but it's a lot of fun. The water, I had the kick on the water for a while. But that it got to be too messy. It was too much of a cleanup. So I have the one module still has the water, and that's it.
The water feature is always cool. So, as you guys see, Matt, I call him the mastermind. He doesn't agree with me sometimes, but I think he is. But as you guys see, he's made the same design. And you were sitting with around with somebody that said, "Hey, why don't you just make this like a switch or something?" Or how did that happen?
So after the convention, Mike Losey, who owns the turntable and the roundhouse, said, we're very Mike and I talk all the time. We text all the time. He lives in New York, but he's like, I really want to bring that back. So I said, all right, so let's figure out a way. And so his old setup used to have all these weird connections, all these weird little angle connections,
right? And
it never lined up right. It was a pain in the butt to set up. So he was like, we got to figure out a different way to do it. So literally, I had my guys help me carry his turntable down, and I sat it on the floor. I didn't even set it up. I sat on the floor, cut a half sheet of plywood, that would be for the module, sat it next to it, and just kept drawing on it. I said, what about this? No, that doesn't work. I was like, what about this? Nah, that's going to be a pain. It's not going to line up. We just kept going back and forth. And then I took and I set a switch on the thing, and I was standing there just looking at it. I'm like, why don't I just make the damn thing the shape of the switch? I was like, and then it's like, there is no weird angle. It's a straight connection. And because that's the issue is when you try to connect the angle connections with the pins, they never line up right, and they bend and they get a little distorted, and they create a weird little curve that sometimes the trains catch and they'll derail. So you really want, when you connect a module to a module, you want that straight connect, as straight as possible.
Yes.
So that allows me to have a straight connection.
Yes. I mean, that actually really did work out. So this is your actually second switch design.
Yep.
Module.
Well, I did it on his. I was like, well, shit. Now I can bring back the engine house and the transfer bridge. Because I built that like 2 years ago, used it once, and could never fit it in the layout ever.
Yeah. So
So
maybe you should copyright design as the matte switch model design.
listen, anybody else wants to steal the idea? I can't imagine there's that many module, clubs out there that want to.
Yeah. Well, even a home layout that has
Well,
limited
home layout would
on.
be a good idea, but a home layout, you're not, you create the layout, the shape to make it work for you. So it's not
Yeah.
like your layout. I mean, it's got little pieces that come off here, all of it, but I mean, it's not modular. Like, if you
No,
had to
no.
take that apart, and put it together, that would be a pain.
Uh,
But yeah, so this one's so what we added with this was like I said, that was existing. All that back there is existing. That 2-foot module that's on the end was existing, but I put the building on it. This 4-foot module here is the one that used to be the notched module that you came in. So where that little stream is,
Yes.
that was actually a track. And that used to go back to when we had the town behind the mine and went behind to that back scene. That was the module that made that connection. So I didn't need that anymore. So I took the track out and actually cut in an area, put a little stream on there, and then created this one. Again, did a nice little stream. I like water. I like little bridges, water features. It just adds, breaks it up. And then we built this. This is another charging station for the dead rails. This because the other one I had is being used with the turntable one, and we've got more guys now getting dead rail engines. They're starting to.
yeah, it seems like you were talking about it with me before we went on video. Guys are getting more. They seem to be getting more interested in dead rail. Even other guys or members coming up saying, "Yeah, we like that side."
So we have 5 guys in our club. One guy from the independent Hi-Railers here did one, and then Jeff, who came from the independent Hi-Railers that does the great train. I always forget which independent Hi that which independent Hi-Railers are they? The ones that do the great scale train show.
Oh, the DC and
the DC
yep.
independent. So Jeff, who came up here and hung out with us, he is doing one. So yeah, so we just need another charging station. So I built this one to go with this. I just did a little different. The other one, if you remember, has got the diesel engine that's being worked on.
Yes.
I opened up the doors. I detailed the inside. So this one I did.
So let's take a look.
It's an abandoned building with an old boxcar on the side. You got a couple of hobos, but if you look in there, see there's a little fire burning in the thing, and then the little lamp there. So those are from
Minitronics.
No, Mini.
Oh,
They're a company out of Canada.
Okay.
Company, but I want to give them credit because they make some really nice stuff.
Yep. I'm hoping that one day that maybe some of these manufacturers will watch these.
There you go. Mini Prints.
Oh, Mini Prints. Yes, I'm familiar with Mini Prints.
I think they actually do Amherst. I think they come and do the Amherst show, but they make some nice stuff. Little pricey, especially because of the shipping from Canada. But it's really nice stuff. But I didn't have to put the lights in there. Like they sell it with all that.
They do?
Yes. They use it. It's funny. They actually use Evans Designs LEDs. But at least that's what, because it's the flickering LED and everything. So, but yeah, they put all that stuff in there, so it's ready to go, and you can order it pre-done, not done. But the neat thing with this is, so Jim's animations. So at the convention, he had given me a
faller tree.
So I actually put that in on here. So that's here.
And for those who don't know, that's Jimmy's Trains. I know exactly who he's talking about. He sells these faller trees. Now, Jimmy's Train sells these trees a couple different ways. He sells them with the, dead like this, or you can actually add the leaves to it to make it a live trees cutting down. And the sounds come with the faller tree as well. So yes. I'll leave a link. Everything that Matt is talking about today, also I want to mention, every product that Matt talks about always makes it to the description who it was, and then there is a hyperlink that you can click on if you're interested in that product. So, like, for example, Jimmy's Trains, his name will be in the description. There'll be a link to his website, Mini Prints, same thing. Anytime Matt mentions anybody, they make it in the description with their website. So
and the speaker comes with that too. It's a nice speaker, but you hear it how nice and clear and crisp that sound is. So I did something different this time because anytime you just mount it underneath the layout, it gets muffled, the sound.
Okay.
So if you actually look in through there, you can see that. So I cut a round hole.
Oh.
There's a screen over a piece of screen, and then I just put this over top.
Yes, yes.
So you can actually almost see, but that's how I've gotten the sound so nice and loud. And I put it as close to the front of the layout as I could get, because the other issues, the shows it's loud. Anytime there's sound, it sounds good in here, but then the shows you can't hear it. And I want it. That's got a neat little, with dog barking and everything. It's got a neat little sound thing. So that's another thing I did. The other thing this has its special is I did a little scene thing here. So, the hobos living in here, all of a sudden they'll put, and they said, so I did another of those smoke units. So you see the flame now thing coming from the back.
Yes.
And it'll start, these smoke units take a minute, but then once this thing gets going, I mean, it looks like the thing's on fire.
I like the for sale sign you got on there.
There it comes. There it
Oh,
goes.
wow.
Well, wait, once it gets going, it really is like...
That is crazy.
Damn hobos! They set the boxcar on fire.
I guess they did. Man, that is what smoke unit is this?
So that's another one of those Harbor model smoke
Harbor
units.
models, okay. Oh wow! Look at that.
The smoke off. It's another one of those Harbor model ones. And then I just put it in here so that
you pipe it to there.
I pipe it to here. These are and I'm probably going to change these.
Okay.
I actually ordered the Elvin stuff from them. I just didn't have any, so I made these up. But they, as you can see, they leak a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably change them out. Then all I did was just put a couple little magnets on the back, and then I can fill it. And then there's the roof just stays
You
there.
ain't kidding. You're about ready to set off your fire smoke alarm here. That's so cool, though. I would have never thought of piping smoke.
Lionel had the smoking tower. They had
Yes.
but I mean, they were always. I mean, those smoke units are so much different than what Lionel uses.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they were always didn't smoke like this thing. These are the same smoke units I used in the smoke stacks for the power plant. All the different. So they work well. And the turntable, I did the ash pit. It's the same smoke unit. And then you just hide them in a building somewhere.
Okay.
But this was a whole neat little scene, like I did, So I got the truck here, so they're they got the building up for sale, so they're clearing all the trees out. You can see all the things here. I got the little guys here with the thing and the feller and the grinder.
So I know I ask repetitious questions, but this is for viewers who are new, and so they don't have to go back and watch 10 other videos. So sometimes I'll ask the same questions in the last video and the video before that. But so you are using lights, if I remember, from Evans Design.
Evans Design. All my LEDs come from Evans. All my incandescents.
And they do sell these blinking lights. They blink on their own, right? They're self-blinking.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as the detail parts, I know sometimes you just find stuff. I mean, like this toolbox. Did you make that?
I made that. So I made the whole truck.
Oh, wow.
So, again, that's one of those. So, like the power plant, you see the trucks that have the booms?
Yes.
So those are New Ray.
Okay.
So they're not, they're the only thing that's ever even semi-die-cast on them is the cab. The rest of it's all plastic. So I find those at shows all the time, and I actually found a bunch of them for $6.
Wow.
So I have a bunch of them. So I take them and I hack the backs of the bodies off. But I keep so this one, I kept the bottom part of the body.
Yes.
I took the boom off, but I used the mechanism here to this. So this is the only thing left of the boom, and then added this for the little crane. But then on here, I cut open the boxes, put doors, put interiors in there, put a toolbox here, put all the stuff there.
Matt, I gotta tell you, you did a wonderful job on that toolbox.
So the garage for where Dakman, little mini Dakman is, that service truck. I remember that service truck that's there. That actually had the cabinets are all lit and everything. Like that was my first experience of doing interiors on trucks. But this shape and everything. If anybody's ever seen an Asplund truck, it's actually the shape there, and that's the color of them. I mean, so I just basically replicate an Asplund truck. Add a couple lights on the back, add a couple lights on the front, just animate a little.
I'm only, making a big deal about the toolbox because I'm a mechanic. And I'm like, wow, that's Wild. And what I like about your lighting is, I mean, you have how well. I mean, I just can't believe how well you hide the wires.
So, I mean, if you really look, you can see them. But, you kind of fold them down the same thing, and then you paint them. Either sometimes I'll paint them the same color, or if I want to just highlight them, I'll paint them a silver color.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, if you ever look on the top of police cars, fire trucks, you can see where the wires come out of the light and go into the cab and go, I mean, so it's not like you got to 100% hide them.
I like how you took real wood chips. Are those pencil shavings?
No, they're again, I'm a builder, so... I'll walk on a job site if I need some stuff, and the guys are using table saw. I'll just scoop up a little thing. You were joking before about the thing outside. I was like, my guys are so tuned now to know what I do. They'll always be like, hey, can you use this for anything? Can you use this for anything? To the point sometimes it's like, stop, I don't need anything else. Stop bringing some here. And then this, because this is all mounted, but the way that this has to sit in a rack, so after a show, when it's done, just fold that down and.
So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of clubs ask me, Sean, how do they carry these modules? Because it looks like it's a lot of setup. No, because Matt, everything is fastened down. In other words, this truck.
Well, not every. So that truck's not.
Oh, this is.
If you see that that's on a seam.
Oh, okay.
So some things sometimes are. So in this case, this isn't.
All right.
And these two buildings aren't. This just screws off and that pops off. Everything else is mounted.
Right.
It depends on how much room I have in the rack. This one I didn't have enough room in the rack for it to sit everything, so this one will just. But that's like, if we have 60 modules, maybe 3 of them I have to take some buildings off of.
Right.
Compared to other clubs have 60 modules, and they got to put stuff on 60 modules.
Yes,
so
that's what I was
getting. From the DC Hi-Railers, just bought a trailer. I'm actually going to help him build some rack series modules. So he came to that show, the November show, and was like, "Oh my god, like this is just so much easier."
Yeah.
So it's like soon as everybody, you can't have this kind of detail and have to set it up at every show. There's not enough time.
No, there isn't. You're right. And I'm so glad that the clubs are, getting together and exchanging information and stuff like that.
I like the camaraderie we have with the clubs now. Yeah. Like I'm going to the Great Scale Train Show in February. I'm probably going to take an engine with me. Just because shoot some video that, hey, the Raritan Valley Coal Company visited, the
DC area.
Hi-Rail. So, I'll pull, just like when, you come to ours, somebody lets you use their train, you just run your engines on there.
Yep.
But it's the, so now I'm going to, we're going down there, going to hang out with those guys. We've become, we've been doing shows together with the independent Hi-Railers up here. It's nice, because when I first joined the club, it was like turf wars between the clubs.
Yeah.
And like nobody ever got along. People would leave this club and go to this club, and now it's not like that anymore. Everybody just kind of gets along. We help each other or do whatever.
And that's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and I'm so glad to see I'm so happy you don't know how happy I am to see the clubs coming together like this. All my favorite clubs, they all have great people in the clubs, so I'm glad to see this happen. I just wanted to get that out there. But anyway, so the the shrubbery I'm looking at here, and
it's all from Knock.
Knock?
Knock makes a lot of that stuff. I get it all from Scenic Express. Anybody needs anything scenery wise, you go to Scenic Express website.
Okay.
I mean, Woodland Scenics has a lot of stuff too, but it always seems that Scenic Express has like everything I need. Plus, I like the owner. He's a nice guy. Woodland Scenics is more corporate. I mean, I'm not knocking them. They have great stuff. And they put out, and they have, Scenic Express doesn't have buildings. Woodland Scenics has some really nice detailed buildings. But just scenery-wise, usually because, when you call Scenic Express, like you're talking to the owner. He's the one placing the, because it's just him and his wife. Like that.
Oh, wow.
So it's a little more personal. I wish because he used to be near Pittsburgh. Now he's in Colorado now. So that's where Scenic Express is. So he doesn't do any, I don't even know if he does Amherst anymore.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even sure if he comes to York anymore. But it was always nice when I remember he used to do the Greenberg shows here. So I do miss, because he was nice. He was fun to talk. Plus he would hey, here's a new product. Here, try this out. But yeah, that's where all the scenery stuff comes from.
Okay.
The ballast, same thing, comes from there. Woodland Scenics.
Yep, something like this.
Yeah. and then everything's put down again, with matte medium. So let's demonstrate. Here, let me show you this thing down here though first.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta come this way. It's a little tight for space with this setup.
Yep.
So we'll switch places. So this I built for this this model. Just I wanted something different here, but again I was like, oh, let me figure out something different. So.
Oh, wow.
Of course, you can't figure out if he wants it open, wants it closed, wants it... Make up your mind, will you? So again, this was like... So I've done the doors that go up and down.
Yes.
And I used the actuators for those. I wanted to do a door that went sideways. So I was like, all right, let me... And again, if you go to like... Choo Choo Barn and all these different, they have things like that, and they have displays of how they do things. But I just, I did a little research, and then basically it's the same concept as the big wheels on a steam engine. So all I did was I used the motor with a flywheel on it, but then did an offset hole in the flywheel, so as the flywheel spins, the rod, just like a steam engine, just goes back and forth. So closes the door, opens the door, closes the door, and then just all the joints to it all have to be left loose so that it has the ability to be able to move. So you just take and tighten them to a point, but you keep them so it was a bolt coming off with a ferrule to keep it away from there, and then just nut and small little bolts, and then just a simple little AC motor in there that just spins at like 3 RPMs.
Yeah, and remember you telling me before, where are you buying your low voltage motors?
I get them on Amazon.
Amazon.
This is an AC motor. The ones that I use for the gates and everything, those are DC.
DC. So is there any reason why you prefer one over the other, or
because the DC is reversible? The AC is just you turn it on, it just goes one way. You can't use a reverse polarity switch on it.
Okay.
One of the DC motors, you use a reverse polarity switch, and that's how you get them to go this way or go this way.
Okay, so it depends on what you're using it for.
What I use it for. So like all these gates that I want to be able to open and close, those are all DC motors.
So you got to actually think about what you're doing and what you want to accomplish before you buy stuff.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that'll say, well, you could take an AC motor and put a rectifier on it, but I don't. My electronic knowledge is very limited.
Yes.
So I just find that the easiest thing to do, and the other thing with DC is like AC, you really can't choke it down power-wise. So that's like a 12-volt motor. If I choke that to like 6-volt, I could hurt the motor.
Yes. DC
is not. DC, you can choke it down. So like if I have something like those are 3 RPM motors, but they're 12-volt. But at that, it was still looking kind of too fast. So what I did is choke it down to 6-volt DC. So now it's like a 1.5 RPM movement. So it's a very nice slow, which is what I wanted. And that I didn't know either. There's a forum I go on. I can't think what it is. It's on my laptop, but it's basically guys that do electronics and there's like. There's a little bit of like ribbing on there, but these are all guys that really know what they're doing, and they build like their own boards and they do all this stuff. So I went on there asking, I had a DC motor and blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's going too fast. How do I get to slow down? They're like, put less voltage to it. I'm like, you could do that? They're like, yeah. They're like, DC. They're like, you could. They're like, you just keep choking it down. They're like, eventually it'll stall. They're like, but you won't hurt it. So I'm like, all right. You don't have to think up there like idiot. But, there's forums online for everything. You can find stuff on there. You just figure it out.
Yeah. Well, you're constantly figuring it out and learning along the way too.
Well, it's like I said, I just like to when I did this. I mean, if you remember correctly, in this one, this has got the overhead crane that moves. Got the doors go up and down.
Yes.
This thing here moves back and forth. The crane. This has got the sand boom that moves and the fuel booms that move and all the gates move. That was all different motors and actuators and everything in there, and it's fun to do that stuff. Here, I'll go over and
yeah. We covered this once before, but we'll go ahead.
Let's go through it real quick.
We'll go through it real quick as a refresher.
Pick this up. And I'll even run a little engine.
I just love your MOW. somebody was saying somebody needs to build MOW equipment for O gauge.
So this is actually a prototype, except that in the prototype this moves. This is a powered unit, so it's something to put you put an excavator on, and then this moves. There's a company, I forget who the company is that makes it. Okay. You look it up online. I would have, but there's where my skills are limited. Like, I'm sure there's somebody out there who could probably figure out how to power that unit and make it move. That's beyond me. So I just have it where I hook it up to a train that gets pulled around. But yeah, it's a neat little piece. Needs to be oiled.
Say I want to go out onto the main line.
Yes.
Right here. But then I gotta find where's that gate. This is the bridge gate. So the bridge gate open.
There you go. Bridge gate's open.
And then you got the gate where you leave.
The gate.
So where you leave out the thing. Yep.
There you go. So we got both gates open, and now we can go out on the main line.
I don't have a main line back here, so.
That's alright. We'll pretend.
And I gotta clean the tracks too. I can see that there's obviously a little stuff still in there. When you do the ballast and stuff gets down in there, I gotta pick it out.
Oh yeah, that's so cool.
And then again, you've got the doors that open up. So like, let's see here, bay 1, where's bay 1 over here? So all the doors open. Again, there's all back here. We've got all the different. All the different cranes that move.
You get over here.
You know, overhead service crane. So I mean, you could spend just a lot of time just in this diesel area, you know, playing around with stuff. I mean, you've got like over here, this got its own whole control panel here. So you got to turn the pit lights on, turn the overhead lights on.
Oh
wow! Turn the sand tower lights on. So you got the sand boom. So here, see this. So first of all, you would pull an engine in here and you'd open up the gate. So where's that's the pit gate, the fuel gate. So fuel gate open.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, that's that one.
That's that one.
Well, that's a pit. Here we go. Open. It's pit gate open. So you'd open up the pit gate.
Yep. Let's see it now.
And then you pull an engine in here to get sand. So the sand boom is here.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Sand boom comes over. Sand it up. And then you got the fuel boom over here. So pit fuel boom and bring it over and fuel up the engine. And then you got it here in the pit. You know, the pit's very well detailed. So, like, you can have this guy, see this guy down here welding?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like he's welding on anything.
Yep.
But, you know, over here you can see there's all kinds of toolboxes. And, you know, I know that the crowd doesn't really get to see this, but, you know, I like to enjoy stuff too.
Yeah, of course.
And then there's a big overhead crane here.
Oh, yeah.
The big overhead crane. So there's a lot of little stuff just in here to do.
And I'm so glad that you built a diesel facility because a lot of people concentrate on steam. I'm a diesel guy, so I can really enjoy that.
Yeah. Well, we have the steam too.
Yeah, but I'm just glad that you did one for diesel as well. So let's see if we can get inside the.
Yeah, you can see how detailed it is in there. And then this has got a big overhead crane too. So let me see. So overhead crane. Where's the overhead crane? So there's the flashing lights on it.
Yep.
See it going back and forth?
Yep. I got it. That's so cool.
You want to do some night shots or?
Sure.
All right, then I just gotta actually know something.
Now, for those who aren't familiar, the sand goes on this one up here, right?
There's both ends.
Both ends on this one? Yeah.
Those are the sand hatches.
So on this one, you got sand hatch here and a sand hatch here.
I gotta walk around because I can't get past that.
During the TCA convention, they allowed us to turn the lights way, way down.
Yeah, that was so cool.
And we got to see the night version of that. So go back and watch that video from the TCA convention, Raritan Valley Hi-Railers, if you always wanted to see what it looked like in the dark. They actually did that for us. So everybody got their cameras out for that one.
Well, everybody that they let stay in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right here, this has got even more lights on it. We light some.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. That's. They use a combination between Evans and
So all the incandescents, they're all miniatronics.
Miniatronics, yeah. Because I know you like that combination.
I like that color combination.
Yeah, yes.
And so, I mean, Miniatronics actually does have stuff that animates too, but I trust the Evans stuff better. I mean, some of this, because first of all, these things travel, they take a beating, and everything always works. Like this here, if you notice, and there's a little thing. So see the red light flashing here?
Yes.
Corresponds with the orange light flashing on the panel.
Oh.
And then you see the mechanic there looking at the thing going, what the hell's the matter with this thing? Which I'm sure is a position and a look you've had many times looking at a truck going, what the hell's the matter with this thing? And this air compressor, because that's that's how the sand towers work. It's air pushes it.
Yes.
That's actually, if you look at it, this is a model of an English Ingersoll Rand. Well, like I took a picture and did, so that is an actual model. Wherever the number is, it's like a 440 or something.
Right. Well, how do you come up with the graphics to do this stuff?
So I used to print my own decals. But now I just do a PDF file, and then the printing company that prints my blueprints for me for my business, I do so much business with him that if I just send him a PDF file, I actually dropped off a ream of decal paper and clear spray. So like, and showed him how to do them. So like I'll send him a PDF file. He doesn't charge me anything to do it because I supply all the materials. He prints the decal, sprays it, sets it in, lets it dry, and then he'll send me an email, be like, your decals are ready. but now they're being printed on hundreds of thousands of dollar machines, so they are perfect when they come out. So because with a home printer, sometimes they jam up, sometimes but his stuff, it's like and so I could do some really detailed decals with him, and they come out.
The only thing, he can't print white. He can't print because it's not like it doesn't. He doesn't have that type of equipment.
Yeah.
I don't really do white decals anyway.
No, it's I don't. It's hard to print white anyway.
But that's, I mean, all the trucks, all the ones from the Giuliano Power Company, all those signs, like where that says the Bridgeton Freight House.
Yes.
Like that's just a piece of styrene, white styrene, and then I use stick-on letters.
Oh.
And then paint it black, and then peel the letters off, and that's how I get those signs. And those, I mean, those, you can buy those at Michael's.
Right, yeah.
All different sizes. So like, turn on the light here so you can see it. So there's like little letters, bigger letters. They just come on sheets.
Oh, there you guys go.
Very time consuming, but it does a nice detail. You know,
that's how he does his
that's how I do those signs.
Signs right there.
Yeah, instead of doing a decal, because with the decals you could tell it's a decal. Like that looks like a painted sign.
Yes. Now, how do you go about doing your method, like right here? I mean, this is like, well, it looks like you're using a what do you call this?
Oh, this. So that I'll make up same way I did. You know, the building Hal has. That
Yes.
Says, can't remember, but
You're using
I don't have a small one here, but it's the same concept. Like this was something I did for the West Long Ranch rack.
Okay.
So I'll just, because they sell these on different sizes too. So I'll make up what I need, get it together, tape it on there, real quick. Because you also want it to get that faded look. So you don't want to sit there and paint. You want it to look, so I kind of do quick work. I mask everything off.
Okay.
Sometimes you can take also too and do the dab method, where like stenciling. You can try that too. But I have all different shaped letters, and you can see them all. I mean, I have tons of those. So I make up my own little sign.
Oh, look at that. Stencils and wow. Who are these from?
Michael's and Hobby Lobby. I'm very excited. They just opened a Hobby Lobby.
I didn't even know they existed this small.
Yeah, smaller.
Really?
Problem is when they start getting smaller, they're very hard to stencil. You need like a really tiny brush and a lot of patience. I've had luck with, so that's how I've done some of these cars, where I actually look, because that's very prototypical. I don't know if any of them are printed up, but it's very prototypical because railroads use stencils. That's how they paint on the sides of the car.
Yeah.
So when you use one of these and actually paint the name of your railroad on the side of your car, A, you're doing it prototypically, and B, it looks like it was done prototypically. Because the letters have a little bit of inconsistency, a little bit of, where decals are perfect. Decals are much faster, but sometimes I'll stencil the cars too, just if I'm really looking for that look.
Yeah.
Plus, you can add things too, like you can over stencil stuff, and so it's there. I tell you all the time, that's the part of fun of the hobby are those little things. I love where stuff I can just sit at the bench, just do stuff. And because it takes out, but it's fun. I like doing little things like that. Little tiny projects. I'm working on a little project right here for what I'm doing in there. So I'll sit at the bench and do my styrene work, and radio's blasting, drink some coffee, and that's the hobby. The big stuff is fun too, but when you're working on the big stuff, you can see it gets in the way. Like right now, I can't wait. We were supposed to be having a work session tomorrow to get all this in the trailer. But one of the guys hurt his back, and now with the snowstorm coming, another one of them has to go work. So we're bagging the work session tomorrow. So I'm stuck with this in the shop for another couple of weeks. Now it looks like maybe the week after Amherst, the guys will come here.
Yeah, it's so cool. I like your truck in here too.
Which one?
I like the truck, the rail car. What is
the speeder?
The speeder, yeah. That's the word I was looking for.
So again, that's just Walters makes those little speeder kits, but I detailed it up, painted it, put the lights on it, built the front piece out, with the fuel cans and some chains on there. They're getting ready to go out on the track now. And these, everybody asks, they're like, oh, the track doesn't get. That's how these were. They would pull them out here, and then they hand picked them up, put them on the main line. They weren't heavy,
Right.
so they didn't have their own switch, but they sat on a track just for storage.
Did you build that birdhouse?
Yep.
I mean, that's just unreal. I mean, guys, remember, when you're looking at my videos, these are not kits that he just pulled out of the box and put on there.
This was a scratch-built building.
I mean, that is unbelievable work.
And this is an earlier scratch-built building. So, like, I look at that, and I'm like, that to me, that's like dog crap.
I mean,
those are the Bars Mills wood shakes.
Bars Mills, and Bars Mills is the same ones that has the
Kits. They sell kits too.
Kits, and I believe that are those the ones that supply the corrugated stuff that you use.
They have corrugated.
So there you guys go, Bars Mills, and there you go, right there.
So this is and they only have two colors, I think, the brown and then the gray.
And the gray.
You could change it if you want.
Yeah. That's so cool. And
if you remember, this tower used to sit. So this was you'll see them. It's the module that's in there being worked on is getting changed. It's the one that has the stream on it that works.
Right.
But that used to have the junction that went back to the back area, came out and merged, and then there was the general store, the Raritan Valley Coal Company store there, company store. So, and that tower sat there. The train used to split the tower coming out from behind there and back on the main line. So I salvaged this, kept it. I took the store off. The store is actually now on the DC Independent Hi-Railers layout.
Yeah, Jeff was saying...
Jeff bought it.
Yeah, he's like, Sean, I want to buy this. I'm thinking about buying it. I'm like, go for it, man. Go for it if you like it. I mean, he talked up a storm with me about that particular building. He really wanted it. And he said he wanted it for the biggest thing to sort of like learn from it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, and again, that was one of my earlier ones. So there's a lot of mistakes on it. Not that even my more recent stuff. The biggest thing change I made is I used to use all foam core. So that one's foam core. So there's a little warping and stuff in the walls. That's when I went to the gator board. So like that building, I mean, that's a big building. But that building is tough as can be because it's gator board.
That building right there is all gator board.
It's all gator board. There's just a big difference in, like this is gator board. You feel it. It's like a thin piece of wood.
Oh, yeah.
Very stable, very true.
Wow.
And it's really, the biggest thing it's used for is shipping.
Oops. Yeah.
So, like, I buy it from Uline. And again, I buy 36 by 4 foot sheets. They come 5 to a box.
Wow, that's a big sheet.
Well, they have 4 by 8s.
Oh, wow.
Which is a little way too big. But and the nice thing with Uline, they're a national company. So they have a distribution center in Kenilworth, New Jersey. That's the local for here. I literally order it like on Monday at like 8 in the morning, and sometimes Monday afternoon or even Tuesday. It's on my front porch. They just drop it off. So I started using gator board, and I told Jeff that. I said, the gator board's a little more difficult to work with because it doesn't knife as easy as foam core. But then I have the little mini table saw that I use because I wind up running it through a table saw like you're working with wood. So all my pieces come out true. They come out. And you'll see in there, I've got a new project I'm working on. It's all gator board. You can get some really sharp details out of it. And then even like the small pieces, like cutting with the thing. Then I went to the Micro Mark cutter. So that's how you'll see in there. I'm working on a little ship detail. So I cut all the windows out and everything with that because you just get really nice detail with that also. So it's the tools. It's the tools and the materials. That was a big investment. I bought that last Christmas for myself.
I remember you spent quite a bit on it.
They were $400, and I was one of those that I was looking at, or like, is it worth it? And doing a little research and reading what people said about it, and blah blah blah. And I got to tell you, I've used it now in quite a few projects, and I think it's worth it because you can't cut the type of things with a regular X-Acto knife that you can cut with that thing. I don't know if anybody's ever worked with wood or anything with this X-Acto, but you're cutting out windows, and you just that last piece and it cracks.
Yes.
Won't happen with that because there's no pressure. You're literally and it's the same. it's like cutting through butter. It's like it just goes right through. So the thing you do have to be careful, it gets hot as can be.
Oh.
And if you even touch the thing, you're like, you think a hot glue gun's hot. That thing is like ridiculously hot when you're using it. The knife, the tip of it.
Yeah.
So don't touch it. But all right, so I guess you want to see what we got going on.
Yeah, let's check out the project that we have going on, the new project.
So we just disconnect this and move this out of the way.
I'm always up for new projects. And we'll serve the viewers. So let's check it out.
Is going to be what's going to bring back the coal loader that I built.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, you're looking at, so this is the old module with the stream.
Uh-huh.
So that tower sat right here.
Okay.
And the building that Jeff took sat here. So now this is another coal loader, but it's a single car coal loader, but that's going to be an operating one.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go around and plug this in. Oy.
Wow. That's so cool.
There's a lot of little cool things going to be on here. So, because I'm actually using up some stuff that I've had that I bought years ago, and now it's like I have a collection. So I'm like, all right, let me start. So I got the first two little lights on it, and then this is going to be the really special part here.
Uh-oh. I can't wait now. I like special parts.
So I built this.
Okay.
So power on. So this is actually going to plug in outside, so I come outside and lay out with the crowd.
Okay.
And if I want to load like that coal car,
Okay.
so here you go. So you got the chute down. So the hopper on this will only be able to maybe load like 3 cars, 4 cars. But it's not like one of those I do whole train. Like I would just demonstrate it.
Right.
And in all honesty, I'm not really sure how well it's going to work yet. so it may just be like the chute goes up and down, but then you do that, and then to get the coal in there, you got the vibrator in there that helps bring the coal down.
Right.
So I may have to do some type of little flapper down here to so that I'm not overshooting onto here while it's going down. But I think with going up and down, I can control the amount of coal coming out. And then when it's done, so the train, because this is mainline,
Right.
So you got to keep stuff out of the way. So it goes up out of the way, and
would they have used, I'm not familiar with steam, but would they have used something similar to this to load up a tender?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's what this would have been for.
The tender.
So what it's going to be for the Raritan Valley Coal Company is like this is just an old kind of out of service thing,
Right.
But I can still if I want. But then this will just be down and unplug that, and then I can take the controller away.
Oh,
Made the
okay.
controller too for it.
Maybe another inspired Millhouse River project.
Yeah, maybe.
Al loves to watch these too.
So then I have another one, and this will have the same kind of thing in there as that. There'll be a chute that goes up and down, so I can back a train into there, just do a single car, come back out, take it down. There'll be a little fiddle yard over there. But you're looking at how this is going to line up. So that will eventually be here. So here's your 4 main lines will be over here.
Yep, I see
And
it.
this track here is this track right here. So you'll actually come in off the, well, you actually come from the other direction. Or no, that's a lie. You come from this one. This is where you come into it. So you come in this way.
This way.
This bridge could possibly be up, so you got to make sure the
I
bridge.
just now noticed that the bridge.
Yeah, so that's what I got here. As you can see, I got 2 of them. so I used the one here, a clamshell crane.
Oh yeah.
So I was going to use the clamshell crane with this. Kind of disappointed a little. It doesn't really pick up a lot of coal. So I was going to have it where it sat out there and you loaded, because this is like a harbor scene. This is all, well, see, it's all lower here.
Yeah.
It's going to be all like water. So I had it where I was going to load a barge, like a barge.
barge.
I was sitting out there, that barge right there on top of the box. That
Oh, yeah, I see it.
scratch built. Didn't work well, so I bagged that. Not to mention, I was like, it's kind of delicate, so I bagged that idea. Instead, went with, because I have those 2 tracks that come out of there, I was like, I was just going to pave over that and make it just look like. But I was like, oh, let's use those. So now you see over here, yeah, come over on this side, a car float that I can actually take off and take it over to the table at the show, load on different cars, bring it back over here, plug it into here. And the way I have it wired is these two are actually going to have power. So when you plug this in, all the lights that are on here will come on.
Oh, wow.
So this will hold 8 cars. So then it comes, I'll have a little fiddle yard the other side of this on a module that I can bring. And this will be made. I was actually going to make an operating floating. But I was like, again, too complicated. So I'm going to just, I'm going to have the thing, these will get used in here to look like this is the float bridge.
Okay.
And then you use an engine, come up here and unload the cars. And then again, take it back. So this is what I was talking about. All these on the styrene, all that detail.
Yeah,
cut out with that knife. That'd be very hard to do with just a...
Wow.
So the two...
Look how you got the angles on that.
Yeah, well, that's how the ships are. They have the angled...
Yeah. It's like, that is just so cool.
And again, do they... I don't know if they have car floats that go under their own power. Ones I've ever seen are usually moved by tugs.
Yes.
This is Raritan Valley Cold does. Because I've always wanted to build something like this. I was like, I'm making mine that goes under its own power.
So your float will your railroad car float will actually be self-powered. Okay.
Well, with the theory, yeah.
Yeah.
Not actually really moved.
Yeah, I know.
But it's loose. So what I'll do is when it's time to change cars, you just slide it out, pick it up. This is just styrofoam under here, so it's actually pretty light.
Hey, everybody likes to put their own ideas on something or whatever have you. I mean, who would have ever thought of making their own self-powered float? I mean, it's cool stuff.
Well,
that you
there
come
may
up
be.
with.
I mean, there might be ones out there that are under their power. I don't know. There's companies out because here it's just the garbage trains, the only car floats anymore. But out in British Columbia and stuff, in Canada and up in there, they car float. The Alaska Railroad. That's the only way they get their cars are by car floats. Those car floats are massive. They're several tracks across. Oh. So I'm probably confident that those do come in under their own power, but they're huge. Usually little 2-car, 3-track, 2-track car floats are usually and the ones that do cross harbor here, they're moved by
tugboat.
And I am still gonna have a tugboat here. I have this tugboat. That'll sit actually kind of like that. Permanently mounted, but that'll actually help funnel when I put this in, guide it in so that it goes in correctly, and then there'll be some pilings and stuff here.
All right, so for those who are, before I get comments, because I already know what they're going to ask, the first thing that they're going to notice in this video is that you're using white board this time around.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
Yeah.
I actually had somebody on Instagram comment about that. It's just because I reversed the number when I ordered from Uline. So I was just as surprised as all of you when I opened up the box. And then I looked on my invoice and I looked at the catalog. I'm like, oh, yeah, there you go. I was like, wrong number, dummy. So the white actually, it's got the same strength as the black. I always use black just because when I don't detail the insides, I don't have to do anything. It goes away.
Yeah.
So the white I've actually enjoyed working with it because when I make marks and stuff in here, I can see them a lot easier. But I will have to, any place that I'm not doing, I will have to paint that inside black just so that because if not, you're going to see it shine through the windows.
Right. So that was the one advantage that you didn't have to paint the inside.
With the black, it's already black. So, so yes, that was true. I made the mistake. And so if you're going to order it from Uline, the white is listed first. You got to do the number under that for black. But yeah, then this is all styrene. I'm actually doing I have the diamond plate styrene I'm working in now. And then I'm going to do little plates, detail.
That's so cool.
And believe it or not, it's not that heavy. It's pretty light.
So who are you getting the diamond plate from?
Plastruck.
Plastruck?
Yeah, same company that I get all my...
Okay, there you guys go. Plastruck. So they got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, they got every shape you could think of.
So we'll put a link in the description of this video so you guys can visit them.
And then this is the same as the over there. So these are, so when Lionel produced the graduated trestles, they've had an add-on kit that had 8-inch ones. So you could come up with a graduated and do a level.
Oh.
So I actually found one in an auction, bid on it. So I got that for that set. It's under $10. so I think I paid more in shipping, but I got that. So I took those and cut them what I needed to make it work. And I got actually the ones over there holding that thing and this out of that. So, I mean, that's, sometimes you look at things and you're like, it's could I build it? Sure. But it's just faster to use something that I can buy.
That's already existing.
Especially if you're getting it on eBay cheap.
Yeah. Because time-wise, I mean, I'm sure if you were to scratch build every little thing, it would take
you forever.
Forever, yeah.
And then if I was doing a home layout where I wanted to take forever, I mean, I probably would scratch build everything just because it's fun. But, like I'm trying to get this done for the October York show. So,
okay, so this will be part of the October York show.
I'm hoping. I got a lot of work to do on this, but I mean, I got all summer. And I usually get a lot of work done during the summer.
Yeah, well, you're like what I would like to refer to as a madman, because next thing I know, it's done. It's like, Matt, are you serious? You really got it done that fast?
This has a lot of work, though. I mean, I've got to do, so I've got scribed planking that's going to go all along all these edges, and I got all my pilings that have to go in around. Like, this is going to be really nice, and then this will all get like a matte medium detail on top with like to look like it's kind of choppy water.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this is all water in here.
I can't wait to see this. This is going to be so cool. So here you guys go. This is your behind the scenes. He's going to try and get this done. I got confidence in that. He's going to finish this.
And finally, this will be, because even that only got in one show. Remember when I had to back a car in to load it?
Yeah.
I've never yet. So now I'll be able to pull a train through and load a train, because that I can load, like a 7 or 8 car train. And I'm going to do some modifications to it. So I'm going to actually put some little more flapper on it, so it kind of guides the coal more into the cars.
Oh, okay.
That was the issue I had with that. I had a little bit too much spillage.
Yeah.
Not that the ones in real life don't have a little bit of spillage, but I had a lot of spillage. But that thing's a lot of fun to operate, because you really have to. I mean, look at that control panel.
Oh yeah.
You really have to put the chute down, open up the thing. You got to flow the thing so it's coming, and then while you're watching, in the screen, and then if you get a little bit of jam up, you got to hit the vibrator. So
there's a lot. Yeah. Oh, it's just like the real thing. That's so cool, though. I think you guys only used this one time, right?
That one show.
Yeah.
Same one that I used the engine house. That was all part of that whole area.
Yeah, because I got that all on video where you guys had it at the show, and then that was the end of it.
It was a November show.
Yeah.
One time.
That's why I'm so glad that I shoot videos in case, things change or whatever.
But here's a little thing. So I was at Staples the other day, and they actually were having a closeout on these because nobody really uses these anymore. You remember the old signboards that you had to put the letters in?
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody uses like LCD screens now.
Right.
So they had these things for like 75% off. But I can use those on to do like a raised letter sign or something.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I mean. When you see stuff like this, buy it. Like there'll be a use for it. So I mean, I got these things. Two things. I think it was less than $10 to buy these things. And that was like I didn't go in there for that. I went to Staples because I needed to get a ream of a box of a ream of paper for my printer. For my business, not even for like anything in here. I just needed I was like, ooh, look at this. That's what I mean. No matter where you're shopping, I find stuff to use. Like last night, I knew I needed super glue,
right,
for some of the stuff I'm doing, and I usually get at Home Depot. I went food shopping with my wife last night, and all of a sudden I didn't realize there's a whole aisle in the back of ShopRite that has all different kinds of glues and everything. I'm like, oh my god, I get all my crazy glue right here, and it's actually $1 less than it is at Home Depot.
Wow.
So she's like, what are you getting? I'm like, crazy glue.
So that's what I mean. No matter where you shop, there's got to be something you could use.
Yeah.
Something you can. And the food store, like if I ever did an agricultural railroad, like where I wanted to model doing like, corn and all this different thing, the spice aisle has every imaginable shape. I was sitting there one day looking, going, "Oh my God, I could model this with that." Bananas, like they have thing, the fennel seed. You take that and spray it yellow, like you got bananas. There's something to think about. But I'm like, that's what I mean. Is all my alcohol that I use for doing all the different washes and everything, I buy that at the food store. They got the big bottles of the 70% isopropyl alcohol. That's what I make all my color washes with.
Oh, okay.
You just add ink to them, different
right.
colors inks, and so that's what I mean. It's so not only Michael's, not only Hobby Lobby, Home Depot, like I buy very little in actual hobby shops. Because there's not that many hobby shops anymore. Everything's online, but they charge a lot of money. Like stuff that I can buy at Home Depot or something else that works just as fine is a lot cheaper than. So I stick to buying like the things I have to buy, like the windows, all that stuff. But everything else, I figure out a way to try to find it in another location.
And I remember you found a source for windows. So who are you using for the window? Tichy. That's right.
Tichy. And then, so I just bought a ton of wood. And nothing against, I love Micromark.
Yes.
But I called Micromark to order all the new wood that I needed.
Okay.
They were out of everything.
Oh.
So I actually went online and found the company that produced it, Northeastern Scale Lumber.
Northeastern Scale Lumber. So there you guys go.
So I bought double probably of what I thought I was going to need because I was really buying all my new scribed wood that I use. So like this is going to be all for the
that's so cool. It's already scribed, yeah.
So again, Northeastern Scale Lumber. And it wound up being cheaper than it would have been at Micromark. So I'm not sure if that's why Micromark doesn't stop carrying it because they just couldn't get it. I don't know if this is who supplies them. Like I have no idea, but
right.
But there's a new source that I'm and it's I think they've been around forever. They're up in Massachusetts or something.
Do they sell direct or you have to
They sell direct. So their website's a little hard to navigate because they have two different sections where you have to look. So there's stuff that's scale. So like if you want a 2x4, it's a scale 2x4. But if you don't want to try to figure that out and how many millimeters and everything that is, then if you keep scrolling down, then you can buy like 16th inch by 1/8 inch. But a 16th of an inch by 1/8 inch, what that measures out to is not a scale piece of lumber. So they have a whole different. So for the rivet counter modelers out there, they actually sell all scale stuff.
Oh.
And then so where you can buy all your scale lumber, but then for if you just need like these are true, like these are not scale. These are just true 1/4 inch pieces of 1/4 by 1/4.
Okay.
Because I needed some 1/4 by 1/4. So yeah, so it's a hard, like I said, a hard website to navigate, but once you go through it, they've got a lot of stuff on there, a ton of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, so I just got that. So now I'm ready. I can start doing, that in there. Once I get this out here, I want to get that really set up out here.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's what we're working on now in the shop.
All right. So once again, thank you, Matt, for another season of bringing me back behind the scenes, showing everybody what's going on, your new product, also showing off the products that you use to create these things and calling out these companies that you use and the sources. Once again, make sure you guys check out my description area of the video in case you're interested in doing the same thing that Matt's doing. All the companies he called out in the video will be listed with a website link that you can actually click on and it will take you there. So looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm excited about that new model, so I can't wait to see it in York. So
I wanted to see it actually work.
So if you guys are looking forward to the Raritan Valley Hi-Railers, you want to see them, they're normally at the Edison show.
We're at the Edison show. The next show is March. I think it's actually the 30th and 31st, last 2 days of March. obviously it's way too early for us to have been confirmed there yet. But
Right.
they've been pretty good lately of letting us in
Yeah.
the show. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping we'll be there. We won't be huge. I mean, we'll probably be the normal.
But if you want to see the big version, the big version, come out to York,
I'm out to York.
and they'll be set out there. And I'm still trying to talk Matt into maybe perhaps one day coming out to Timonium, but
Well, I said we are. We were, like I said, we were actually. If you look on their website, we're listed there. We're not going to be there.
okay.
But I talked to the one who runs that show. I told him, we just want to be. I don't need to be huge, but he was only going to have us a 28 by 28 for this show. It's too small. It's too small to trip because we got to go hotel rooms to go there.
Right.
It's too small to travel that far. So, well, a couple of us are going to be at the February show. I got a hold of their vendor list. I mean, they got a lot of good vendors there.
Oh yeah,
And
they do.
Some vendors I've never, but like Altoona Model Works, I used to buy stuff from them all the time. They used to do Allentown all the time. I haven't seen them in a while in Allentown, so I'm excited because they said this is all Altoona Model Works. They have some nice stuff. So yeah, we'll be there. I'm going to probably run some trains on the DC independent Hi-Railers layout, and then just kind of hang out with them for the day, kind of like you guys do at our layout. So
Right.
I'm gonna trade places. I'm gonna be the guest this time. So I'll probably see you out there.
Yeah, I'll be there. And also make sure you guys, if you can't make it, you can always watch my videos. Make sure if you like these videos, you're looking forward to the behind the scenes, or just from me going to the shows and filming the members running their trains, going through these wonderful layouts that Matt has poured hours of work into creating. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification, and I will bring the show to you guys. So, again, appreciate it, Matt, and we'll
Absolutely. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you. We'll catch you later.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.